I'm going to suggest that many times a day, notice whether you've become a freeze-dried picture of yourself. And if you have, move. You don't have to do anything obvious. Just turn your head, blink. You might move your legs. Just activate your body so that you're aware of it and it's not frozen. You need to experience the invigoration of curiosity. And the inspiration that accompanies it. If you really want to know, you've just become lazy, that's all. You stopped being curious. I say that so that you understand that there's not some trauma or something that happened that caused you to make a firm decision to protect or defend yourself. You just became lazy. So notice during the day. Make a practice of noticing whether you've become immobile. Yes, I want to see you squirm in your chair all afternoon. Not because you're nervous or uncomfortable, but because you're staying in touch with being alive. Okay.
Anything else?
That's everything.
Thank you.
You are welcome. Hands. In the back, in the white blouse?
I guess my question is, what would be most helpful for me to know and or do at this point?
I know this sounds trite. Expect a miracle. Be, as consistently as possible, attentive to radical idealism being translated into practical realism. No matter how little an event it might be, any time that a correction, a healing occurs, it's a demonstration that you're not stuck in a process of getting old. That you're not stuck in what has been poorly described as the terminal illness called life. You shared with Paul earlier an experience with the bee, and that was indeed such a demonstration.
Great.
Small as it was, it lights you up to know that. You're not over the hill, sister.
Oh, that's good.
Yes. And if you don't have immediate results, don't abandon the curiosity. That's the end of the answer.
Thank you.
You are welcome. Hands. Right in the back there, yes. Yes. Just a moment.
Yeah. I have two questions. First is there anything in my past I haven't seen yet which keeps me away constantly from doing the great work?
No. However, if you are preoccupied with the past, your attention will not be in the only real place it can be, which is in the present, in the now, where great works can happen. And so I encourage you to bring your attention into the now. Let it abide there. Let it abide here. Because it's always going to be clarity or greater clarity about now that will be called the miracle, not a greater clarity about the past. Let your attention come fully into the present, with curiosity to see the truth, see what's real in the present, so that the real can displace the unreal and be identified as a miracle. And the second question?
And the second question is, I know you, Jesus, from my childhood as a person who is a great healer. My question now is, could you heal me in this moment?
The movement has been initiated. Be attentive and allowing. And release it from a time frame. The movement will continue until it is completed. There is no legitimate thing opposing it. Okay.
Thank you.
You are welcome. Hands. The gentleman on the sofa.
Thank you for the compliment. In view of the insanity happening in the world today, as seen in wars between religions, for instance, what is the meaning of what we behold as it relates to our awakening? And is our awakening on schedule for 2011 or 2012?
Yes, it is on schedule.
Thank you.
Do not look for meaning relative to your awakening in the world. You will not see differently. You will not see different evidence until your consciousness is less conflicted. I am not saying that your consciousness is creating conflict in the world, but I am saying that until there is a choice on your part not to value reaction in your life, your mind will not become single, undivided. And yet that is what will cause transformation to occur, quote, in the world. You see in the world the evidence of the choice for and the valuing of competition and conquest. Well, that's nothing more than the valuing of conflict. You can address the smaller ways in which you value conflict and employ it or magnify it. You can pay attention to that so that you can let that go, because you want to be the evidence of love, which is a singularity, which is something unconflicted.
Called peace.
Yes. Peace is very often thought of as the absence of conflict, as the absence of differences, the absence of tension and so on, the absence of things. But love isn't just the absence of hate. It's the presence, it's the living presence that is the very substance of everything. I have been talking recently about the fact that everything that you see, this mug, we'll say, is not matter, it's an idea. Right now, it's nothing more than an idea that has integrity, you might say, in terms of experience, because the idea has integrity, not because it's been successfully translated into another substance called matter that has to abide by the laws of physics. One of these days, when I do this, Paul will be able to pass his hand through the glass. Water will not spill, he will not be cut, because the idea that looks like hand can move through the idea that looks like mug, because they are ideas, and if it fulfills purpose, they can pass through each other without losing integrity. Now, you're not going to begin to see that as long as you're valuing conflict, because the theory of matter is a polarized conception of the kingdom of heaven. That's why you have positive and negative poles in energy. You see, clear down to the molecular level and beyond. But when you arrive at the point of valuing peace and wishing to be the evidence of love yourself, and being only that, then your mind will come into a singularity of intent and presence that will allow the non-materiality of everything you're experiencing to register with you. And then you will see something different on the boob tube.
So it has an influence.
What does?
Our realization of truth, our inclination to express love, and our acceptance of divinity.
Absolutely. It not only has an influence, your consciousness of truth or your ignorance of truth absolutely governs how you experience what? the movement of creation, the kingdom of heaven as it is called, which is what all of this is, except that you've all given it a different definition, and you're believing your definition of it. And so you are not curious to see beyond your definition, and you're stuck. You're stuck. Absolutely.
Thank you.
So don't be too caught up in what you see on the television, in what you see happening in the world, because it will depress you. And in your depression, you will not have much vigor and spunk present to be curious, to see a wonderful fact that everything is an idea right now. If you're willing to embrace that idea, your curiosity will be activated in a brand new arena, one that you don't have the answers for ahead of time. So you know you're going to be being curious about something you know nothing about. Wow! That's something you can get enthused about. That's something you can bring your energy to. This applies to you too. You're welcome. Indeed. Okay, we will take a short break. Okay. Hands.
I'd like to start by first saying thank you, both to Paul for sharing what he shared today. I really felt what Paul was saying, and I felt that it was hard for him to say that, and I couldn't not be moved, and I wanna. That's very meaningful. So, thank you for that. And I also want to thank Raj. I've been witnessing and experiencing the physical, tangible expressions and manifestations of what you talk about all the time on a more consistent basis, and it's truly remarkable. And it allows me to hear and see more clearly what you're actually saying. So every time I think I got it, there's always a little, don't be so sure yet. And lo and behold, there's more. So just this earlier...
I just want to say that as that happens, then you become a teacher of it yourself. Not by professing to be a teacher of it and not by trying to teach it, but because the way you are being with everything constitutes a withdrawal from the mutually agreed upon definitions of everything and the mutually agreed upon ways of behaving, and because there are no private thoughts, there are no private awarenesses of truth. Everyone is blessed and everyone is taught. Continue.
So, even though my eyes and ears seem to very often tell me, or tell me through my students, that everyone, the masses or many of the people out there seem to be going 180 degrees opposite of where I seem to be going. When I check in with my heart, when I check in with my guidance, I feel fine about doing what I'm doing. And I feel like I really...
Yeah, just for clarity, it isn't that they're going 180 degrees opposite. It isn't a going anywhere. They are choosing to look at things, to be present with everything in a manner that is 180 degrees out of sync with the way you are beginning to see it. You're all going to run into this. Accept it. Change is never a repeat of the same old, same old. And you can't afford to become discouraged or overly reactive to the more and more obvious fact that the old way of seeing things doesn't work and is not loving and is everything that you want to leave behind. And it isn't that everyone's getting worse. It's that you're getting better and seeing clearly what doesn't work and how badly it does work. Go on.
Well, I see it most dramatically in, and I'm exceedingly grateful to the students that I have who oftentimes seem to hear what I'm saying better than I do myself, and start to practice this stuff, and I see it. And I guess my question is, and I wasn't really, I got an inkling of it, and I'm not sure if I'll articulate it well, but when Paul was talking with us and sharing at the beginning, there was part of what he was expressing that really, I guess I could say I have a matching picture, because I believe I am dropping into doing, even on a more continual, constant basis, what I'm here to do each moment. I don't see the physical, tangible, financial result of that. There's still an imbalance with more resources going out than are coming in, despite when I'm sort of on the beam, or despite when I am getting feedback from people who are changing their lives. It is all in superlatives. It's all... so there seems to be, I guess I would like some help, some clarity. I'm curious to feel, okay, where am I still holding back? There may be a lot of places, but if you could give me the next place where I can yield into and feel how I can give more or see more clearly. And if I may, just a little example, the last week or so, my wife and I have been tending for this little blue jay that can't really fly yet, that one of our cats has discovered in our yard. And we've been struggling with what to do to help it and not try to get in the way of helping it. And we put it in a box and float it up in the air between trees so the cats can't get to it, but then he's frantic trying to get out, and the parents are trying to get in, and so it's like, when do you do and when do you not do? I mean, it's a silly example because my heart's saying I've got to do something. You could stand and not participate, like the person on the camera watching nature and say, well, that's just how nature is. One animal kills another one. Or you can look and go, well, my cats don't have to kill this bird. kind of thing. And I guess in a way it encapsulates, there's an essence of there, and I'm not clear what the real message is for me, and I'm hoping you can help me. That piece, there's a piece I feel I'm ready to hear or see, and I'll just stop talking or I'll keep talking.
The simple thing is that with the bird, you are embodying the valuing of life. Continue.
Well, one of the things I've heard you speak of in the past is to continue with the bird-cat analogy, or the bird-mouse thing. We have one little cat who's quite a little hunter, and so there have been occasions where there's a little animal in the house that appears to be dead, and so I go outside and I ask to be shown the truth about this animal that's in my hands, because if it's a creation of God, it cannot be uncreated. And I have witnessed where the little mouse just sort of runs off, and my mind goes, oh, well, they were just unconscious or something. So I don't know what happened or not happened. It doesn't always work that way. But it's in all the different ways that you suggest practicing that I find more opportunities to practice, where it's right in front of me, it's obvious, but it's outside my current definition. So I appreciate this, and I'm hoping for, well, today you got one, I hadn't heard that before, the radical idealism being practically expressed in the day-to-day events. So what would be another practical way for me to allow or yield into the unfolding, which could allow me to actually give more, because it's...
You know what? I could end up and provide you with a book of practices.
Yeah.
You don't need another one to add to your list. You just need to continue as you are, because the opportunities will present themselves and you will recognize them and you will explore the new possibilities. And that's the way it is for everyone. It has to do with the curiosity. You need to pay attention to the opportunities to see something beyond what you're conditioned to see. A mouse is dead, he's dead forever. The bee is dead, it's dead forever. Tain't so. You need to continue to challenge the status quo by being open to something radically different. Curiosity is a marvelous thing. It's what all children have until it's drummed out of them. That's the practice.
So if I could be curious enough to watch Paul demonstrate what you were expressing earlier, the hand through the glass or walking through the wall or whatever the case may be, is my insufficient curiosity what's stopping my perception of that possibility?
Forget about grading yourselves. Just persist in the curiosity. Don't try to analyze it. You are breaking a habit, an ingrained habit, by not cooperating with it, by operating outside the scope of the habit. The habit will be broken by your persistence at seeing and being outside the habit. Don't bother to waste your time evaluating how well you're doing. If you are persisting in the practice of curiosity to see beyond what you've been conditioned to see, you are succeeding.